Well, shalom. You know what we're looking at? My workhorses. These are literally the shoes for my feet. Yes. Now, I have to be real straight. My wife has been completely revelatory of how many times my bucket of shoes. Let me show you our bucket of shoes. This is our copper basin so that we can dye clothes like Lydia. If you don't know who Lydia is, read the book of Acts. You're going to find her in there sooner or later. We keep our shoes in there. These are my workhorses, the most important tools that I have in my arsenal, apart from my physiological feet and the bread of heaven. These are like my favorite ever that I have ever put on. I love them so much. Xero shoes. Xero. I love them. I have no actual affiliation with any of these people whatsoever. I just hunt down the best things ever and put them on myself and try them out. And I destroy them utterly. Sometimes very quickly. I met a barefooted runner named Joe. He did ultra marathon, long distance running, 100-mile runs, barefoot. I was like, what? I saw him in a food pantry line because my family and I were more or less starving for real delicious food. Like this. Watch this. Food like this. I can smell flavonoids. You know what that means? It smells like deliciousness because this tomato came from a farm nearby.
It was picked yesterday.
Literally, vine ripe, actually ripened. And I can smell rice husks, white pine shavings, biodiversity, nutrient-dense soils because someone's been laboring diligently with the sweat of their faces. Yep, tastes like salty, sweaty people, hard work stuff. Awesome deliciousness. My wife and I got addicted to living food. This is still, every cell in it is still alive for another 2 days, at least. And when I eat it, I'm filled with electricity that makes me want to dance like David dance. Dance until my feet melt. Like this style. Yeah, you betcha. Check this out. This stuff leads me to places where I find people that are literally giving it away because no one regards it. They're like, I want the bright red shiny tomato that looks like perfect and is filled with death because people grew it with death. I don't like that stuff. I met Joe, barefooted marathon ultra runner guy, in a line, a food pantry line, because I couldn't afford to go to the grocery store anymore. Still generally can't. However, I found out that most people literally give it away, and there's food pantries that are distributing out life and vitality. Joe was dancing barefoot on 100-degree asphalt. That's prodigious. That's difficult. And I was like, tell me your ways. Teach me how to dance like that. And he showed me Xero shoes. These ones. And he said, feel the world. Because I roll my ankles constantly because I move like the wind. I move like a Seminole Indian does when he's in a hurry carrying out a message like Naphtali. These are durable enough to endure me. You see that? Their little logo is feel the world. I need to feel the world because when you're moving at a high rate of pace, high speed, you need to be able to bend your foot like this. I want to feel every single rock and crevice and gully and ditch, and I want to run on the tops of the grains of wheat, like it said Naphtali could. And Asahel, if you ever read 2 Samuel chapter 2, do it. I dare you. Anyways, they had sandals that you could make your own out of rubber tires. There was these people called what was it? Warachis. Thank you. Right. Read the book, Born to Run. Joe basically indoctrinated me into the way of the barefooted tribes people. And I was like, blew my mind. And then we gave him the bread of life, the sword of the Sefer at sephirpublishing.net. Check it out. Deadly stuff. Now, he taught me all about how to make your own shoes. So I bought some of their kits that you could build your own. And you know what? That was difficult. I didn't do exactly a super well job, but I think they were 10 or 12 bucks, and I liked that. And that was about how much I had because sweat of the face. I was getting paid in goat's milk at the time. You can't generally trade that, but I did. This is like their next level version, which was way better than the one that I had. Because this little thing I kept blowing out. I kept trying to tie a knot there, and it was painful and awkward to run in.
They were kind of flappy too.
They were too big. I ordered and cut them down to size and shape, and I just didn't follow their very exact instructions. I didn't slowly read the fine print, and I missed very important parts of it. And they didn't have this heel guard.
Which is awesome.
Which is critical, because if you don't have a heel guard, let me show you what my feet. This is linen socks. I ordered these from Belarus. Ukraine, places like that. And
On Etsy?
Etsy generally, yes. I try to find humans that make stuff and buy it from them or trade them directly to support them individually. I also have a Discord server where people do this stuff in a Facebook group called Becoming a Linenite, where there's amazing people. Buy, trade, sell, donate. Becoming a Linenite. Where we try to have people that make stuff get connected with people that need stuff. But I keep blowing out my heel. You know what that's called? Trench foot. Soldiers understand this. People that do ultra marathons understand. That happens because you got a little too eager, a little too fast, and you didn't condition your feet into it. So I learned how to condition my feet to being back to barefoot and getting out of boots, because I'd been in a lot of combat boots and hard work boots and cowboy boots and stuff that didn't fit me properly. And it destroyed my feet. So I went back to these and was like, this is the best thing ever. And I got totally addicted to them and lost in them. However, I recognized that I needed something more durable. And then they had this version. And I loved it. This is my favorite sandals. I wanted to have sandals like Joshua had when they conquered Canaan. Like I wanted wherever the foot of the sole of my shoe or the foot of my sandal treaded, there Yahuah was with them. I wanted to have the sandals. I feel like the most biblical of sandals. However, I knew it was somewhere in between this and this, but the version of it I've yet to have. I believe it's multi-layered linen. That's why I was obsessed with making linen armor. I wanted to make layers of linen and then leather and then straps of hemp, and like I just never got that far. But I saw these people were on the track and they were running at distance. Now I keep blowing these sandal straps out right here because the materials here are just not good enough. I've tried sinew. That's what I realized I needed.
I just opened the door.
Well, thanks, Jubilee Jane.
Hello.
Terrific to hear from you.
Hi.
Hi. I'm doing a little bit of a conversation with folks about our shoes. Will you come sit down and listen? Thank you so much.
I'm just taking my boots off.
All right. My girls have different taste in boots than I do. We'll get there. But I keep blowing out the sandal strap portion right here. You know, Abrahamic style. Not one sandal strap or shoe thread from Sodom and Gomorrah made me rich. Unless you did, and then you got to deal with that. But I keep destroying it. Sit down, please, honey, and let mommy film, all right? Now, I kept trying to get this repaired, and I thought I had sinew that someone gave me, but I found out it was actually artificial sinew called nylon thread. Wax nylon. Not the thing I needed. Wait. Don't touch, please. Okay? This kept getting damaged and destroyed because I put these under so much pressure. I'll carry hundreds of pounds of stuff with me going up and down mountainsides and hillsides because I've conditioned my feet to them. These were the best sandals I have ever had.
Now, I have those sandals.
Now, let me show you Chelsea's. Hers have been long suffering and
And
enduring.
I wear them almost every day. Not as hard use as Nathan. Just, we have different rules.
That's right.
But
Praise Yah.
they have been the best shoes ever. And I loved them because they didn't flap around. They felt like they were part of my feet. And I felt like I felt like I was barefoot,
Please go over there,
but
honey.
still had traction when I was hiking up and down on rocks and things. So
And in and out of water.
and in and out of water, wear them all the time in the water and crossing creeks and streams with them, hiking with my girls. I love these sandals. Anyway, I just had to say that. And mine are actually still going strong.
She hasn't blown out the sandal. She still has some original piece of material that I've never even seen online. Now,
Just different people.
Chelsea got these like a year-ish ago, almost a year ago exactly.
Yes, and I love
This is, I got these a year ago, and I didn't wear them as much because I run and move so quickly and so often that this can't even kind of handle me. It's somewhat there, but I need something that's in between the two. And you see this, the thickness of the sole itself here and where my foot can plant and land and flex. I need something that's durable enough to endure. Like right now I can hear the rain coming, which means I might immediately need to run everywhere to get animals and sheep and herds and flocks, and I'm gone.
But all those straps are adjustable.
Yeah,
And,
and
so
they-
you can tension it so
Perfectly.
that it perfectly snugs onto your foot. And that's why
Yes.
we loved those so
And I didn't destroy
much.
these, but some of my friends did. Their first time pulling these and tensioning these, they exploded this part, or they blew this out of here. It's not strong enough. I know it seems like it's strong, but I need stuff that's so strong I can wrench with all my might, like a tugboat, and it still be there. Just saying. That's the long-term goal. They're on the way. But I keep having these problems with these, and I've heard they have like warranties and stuff like that, but I'm like, I don't want to bother companies and people. Like, I want to just use their products and like my life depends on it, because it does. I climb cliff face with these, like in my Mountains of Gilead video.
And what are these ones?
These are some other, I don't know.
Zero
I don't know
shoes,
model
too.
numbers. These are all zero shoes.
These are all zero shoes.
Nothing survives. This is my second pair in 10, 11 months. This is my second pair of these. And they weren't cheap, but I also am willing to pay more for quality. Now, some of them...
And that's like everyday hard use.
Not every day. This is probably only, I don't know, 100 days? I don't wear these that much. I wear them a lot, but it's not my every single day shoe. This is me. I could do this in a month if I wore these every day.
And you get them wet a lot.
I'm completely saturated in and out of swamps and climbing trees and in and out of ditches. I put on so many miles. Like, I've rubbed these things completely wrong.
Yeah,
Now,
you
there's
really
some
have.
vulnerabilities with wet, total wet environments. These have loss of traction. These do better. The type of material that's used on these lugs, they call them lugs, is better in a wet environment. These are not. These are slick. That's really important because I'm in and out of wet environments. I'm sopping, dripping wet a lot. These also break down glues and resins and whatever the materials of whatever it is that they chose to use for these disintegrate when they're sopping wet continually. And that's a major deal for me because I'm going to put them through that all the time. And I always blow out here because I flex my foot with a high arch. Not everyone has a high arch like this. Some men's feet look like Belgian draft horses and they're perfectly flat. That they have like circular feet. I don't have that. I've got feet like a nimble ballerina. That's right. So when I make an arch, I need my foot to be able to do that. Not everyone needs to do that. This is one of their other models that they said was waterproof. I instantly proved it wrong. Nothing I've ever put on my feet that I've seen really is truly waterproof. I mean submergible. I want to be able to put my foot in the depths of the ocean and know that it's waterproof. So when I see waterproof, I'm going to prove it right away, instantly, son. And if it's not, I'm going to spit it out of my mouth because I don't like that stuff. It's moderately water resistant. That's two totally different things, which is fine. It's okay. I'm not upset. I'm just devastated when somebody tells me something that's not exactly true. Look it. These get blown out because I wear them when I'm sopping, dripping wet, because sometimes it's 110 degrees inside my body, 140 degrees on top of my body armor. And I soak myself from head to toe, absolutely saturate myself and immerse myself, and then go right back to working on a farm for hours and hours and hours. That's these boots. Now you can see they held up tremendously
Great
better.
traction.
These I have used on farms where I'm working around heavy equipment and heavy machinery, more dangerous stuff. But I can't handle, they came with some kind of inserts. I generally take all of this stuff out because I have to wear a size up because I need ankle supports because I've destroyed my ankles so many times from going so quickly. These are like my ankle choices of everness. I love these. My wife spent a long time, many years looking for these. They're called Dawn Joy. Performance. Dawn Joy Performance. They're the best ankle supports I have ever found because I can put them on hastily.
And we got them on Amazon, and I've
They're
never
blown out.
seen any ankle brace like this. Like,
Bam.
I've been a nurse for a long time. I've seen lots of different ankle braces. I've also played soccer my whole life and have been around all kinds of different lace up to wrapping around, all kinds of different ankle supports and braces. Nathan's tried all of them.
Every one of them I've ever come across since I was 12.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know. 20 years. I've been trying on different ankle braces, and I despised every one of them.
Yes, they all
because they all sucked. They did. That's my nicest way of saying it. I hated them.
They're all hot.
But
They're too
They
restrictive.
did their job to make me miserable.
Yes.
And then so what did I do? Take them off and get rid of them because they slow me down.
And then hurt your ankle
And then
again.
have my ankle way worse. And this would happen every 3 to 6 months
Yes, it
on a
would.
repeating cycle. And I know my ankles need rehabilitation and time to sit down. Yeah, guess what? When I get rehabilitation and time to slow down, I might have 5 minutes. And they're like, you're welcome. Otherwise, there's armies of humans that are waiting for me to get going. So I don't get a lot of like downtime. These help me get it. Because like yesterday, I'm trying to sit down and have lounge time with my wife and just have snuggle time and just sit and talk to her because it's been busy around here. And then I hear in like the periphery at the echoes of my mind, my daughter Jubilee screaming. A very particular kind of scream. Show her. You should show Jubilee. That's Jubilee. She starts screaming a very particular screamy. Now stay there. And I went barreling out the door at full tilt. And when I'm full tilt mode, get out of the way, son. From here to the park. Bam, show them. From here to the park. 4 seconds from the seat. I know how to move. And I had her in my arms, scooped her up, and I'm like, because Jubilee was riding the little horsey swing like this style and got barreled into and knocked over and just tumbled in dust. It was great. Not for her, but it will be long term. She'll learn a lesson about not riding horses around big children. So these are things that I have to keep on my feet 24 hours a day sometimes. This is what they look like after 1 month from brand new. That's 1 month with me, okay? That's generally in shoes. This is after 10 months.
And look how quick that was to put on and off. Can I just make a point? Those normal ankle braces, the lace-up ones, and all the straps and nonsense, look how fast that is.
And I can put my linen socks on,
Under
lightweight
it.
linen socks on under it. I can even put my favorite other socks like Smart Wool. I love Murano wool socks. There's a lot of different wools. I'm just starting to get into that as I'm learning about different kinds of wools. Like this is Rhine Shore wool. I'm learning a lot about all of these natural fibers. This is a different kind of wool, felted and unfelted and all this stuff. These socks are like my life. And so I need to be able to put my socks on with my braces on. Like these, pure from Scotland, crazy insane wool socks. This is the stuff that has absolutely been my livelihood. However, it should last longer than this. This is the struggle I have constantly, is that the manufacturers of shoes are being pressed to compromise in certain areas. And I can't even imagine the pressures they're under to put out so many shoes at such ridiculously penny-like costs that they have to compromise in certain areas. However, this company has been exceptional with me continually. Everything I've asked of them. And I have loved their products. I have never interacted with them other than their website and trying to get new pairs of these things. I didn't know they had warranties. I only heard recently that they do. And that they didn't compromise and sell out to the big consumers in order to just get their products out there. But I love them and I advocate them tremendously. This has been my absolute favorite of anything I've ever had.
Mini Tonkas.
Mini Tonkas. They used to have some rubber sole thing. I don't like any of that stuff. I just wanted pure heavyweight leather, buffalo leather moccasins. And this was the closest I had. Chelsea found these in the trash bins. The bins.
Where did you get those?
Oh, no. We met the person who introduced us to the bins. Will and Marie in Asheville, North Carolina. The original Millenites and Linenites for us. And they had a pair of these. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, I wanted them, but I needed a pair of these, and they found it in the bins. Didn't she find it in the bins?
Yes, probably.
She found it in the bins, but she bought it. I didn't. So she was going to give them to her husband. And her husband was like, not really jiving with him. It just didn't fit his needs. But I asked him if I could trade him for him. And I had a tomahawk that someone gave me at a conference, Sacred Word Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. I traded him a tomahawk, like this style. But it was a little bit too big for me. I like a very particular kind. This is a special operations group, SOG Tomahawk. These are pretty intense. These are functional tools. This was gifted to me recently, more recently. I traded him a tomahawk for these 2 years ago. They're amazing. However, you can see what happens when I get a hold of stuff. I have consistent wear and tear areas because I use the top portion of my foot when I run swiftly like the wind.
Even natural fibers.
Even natural fibers, I melt them. I literally melt them off of my feet. Sometimes I can do that in one sprint. I need stuff that is so strong and reinforced it could endure that. And I know it's out there, and I've heard it's called buffalo leather, that it is the ultimate one for making this kind of material with. However, it's not what I had available at the time, and I used these thoroughly. These ones were not designed to be the sole of it. They used to have a rubber, gunky, bubbly, textured thing. I got rid of it because it didn't flex.
No, those didn't on there.
Yes, they did. I cut it off diligently, slowly, and carefully, and removed the top of it. That's what you can see here. You don't remember that because I took it off instantly. I don't like that kind of stuff. I just want to feel the world. I want my feet to be like that. But I also want some texture and traction. And moccasins have all of these things mixed together. They have the ankle support that I need. They also really are fun when I'm dancing like David danced. I love that feeling. And they have leather. This is from Joe. Years ago, he gave me this, and I believe this is also buffalo leather, this cordage. And I can cinch them down and tie them down. Now, they're too big for me because they weren't actually made for me. You can see that? But I want to make my own moccasins. I want to make my own footwear, my own shoes. And I'm on the track to do that. But I love that there's people out there who care enough about humans to still keep the tradition of a cobbler alive. These are people that have made my life better constantly. And I love their products. And I've been blessed by them. Uggs with this ridiculously epic sheep's wool inside of it
soft.
have kept me warm through many, many miles. My parents, when I was growing up, they introduced me to these because we lived at almost 8,000 feet in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, the mountains of Gilead, near Cascade, the prominence points of Colorado, Pikes Peak. Very cold environment. You need to have nice little boots to go in and out with. These are some that people from the land of Vermont talk to me about. Acadia, the Acadians up there. Oh, that's nice. Cork, like Birkenstock style. These are great in wet traction and everything else.
And wool, right?
And
Cork
wool. So, but it better be 5 degrees below zero for me to, in my head, to even consider putting stuff like this on because I run like 150 degrees inside. And then Crocs. Love these. Found these in the trash cans. Chelsea, thank you.
The bins.
My wife found these in the Goodwill Outlet Center. We call them the bins. And I have literally worn myself right through them, almost entirely. But I love stuff I can pop on and off quickly and then once again run like the wind when I need to. These are my favorite because I'm in and out of my door hundreds of times a day. Most people don't have that lifestyle. I certainly do. These have been the tools of my choice. And the last one, my water shoes. These are my kadosh, set apart, holy water shoes. They're called Neosport. One of my best friends named Joshua Myers, he introduced me to these because he comes from the land of Olympia. Terrifyingly wondrous place where they have inland seas that are gigantic and shards of limestone or barnacles that will shred your feet instantly. And if you don't have proper footwear on, you totally will slice your feet to ribbons. So when I started going around the Florida swamps and scuba diving and snorkeling everywhere on limestone, I learned quickly, super tough stuff. So you can stay in the water and not get so hypothermic you die. These have been the greatest. These are 3 millimeter. They come in different thicknesses of neoprene, which is made to get wet, but hold the water close to your skin and keep you warmer. It's called a wet suit material versus a dry suit material like tallow, animal fat that you can rub on your skin and make yourself waterproof and slide through the water like an eel. Or seal, maybe. Now, neoprene is like an artificial version of it. Dry suits are like made of rubber and plastic kind of materials, but they make me sweaty and swampy, and I don't like that. So, these are the tools of my trade that I have loved dearly. And you know what? They've survived me. That's tremendous. My families look different than mine for different reasons. But I hope you guys understand that it's very important what you put on your feet. I'm about to go back into the land of boots, cowboy boots, Wrangler boots, riding horses, stallions, steel toe boots because I'm around horses and stuff. I'm going to need to have proper footwear for that. And I'm on a quest to find the ultimate footwear. You know what? Because the Israelites, the Hebrews, the cowboys, the Indians of Israel, here in the land that people call America, they've been wearing lots of different boots and lots of different hats and lots of different shoes for a long time. And we needed those cobblers and all those people with those trades to rise up and get us these, but the natural fiber versions of it, so that we can run our feet like the wind. And we can swim and we can carry forth the gospel to the 4 corners of the earth, because is that not what we were all born for? I love you. I hope you live vibrantly and run like the wind.